new Avatar Aang movie dropped at just around 85 minutes, and unfortunately, lots of different characters and scenes were left out. Now, Suki is the most prominent. That Fire Nation intro in the movie, there's no Suki. She should be there. She's on Team Avatar. She's there for 2 seconds. She's eating something in Republic City, and she's like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you see a bunch of images eating with the rest of the gang. She's also dancing, not with Sokka, which is very interesting. She's in the movie, but she's not in the movie. And Mike, one of the creators, came out and said, quote, I know fans are going to be upset. Suki's not in the movie. She's in one shot at the end. We did try versions where Suki was in the movie. You just have to make these decisions where it's like, we only have 85 minutes to tell the story. We were already having a hard time giving our beloved main characters their spotlight and enough screen time. The Kyoshi Warriors are out there. They were off saving somebody else while the events of the movie were going on. Doesn't mean they're not around. They have their own comic book series now, so they are busy ladies. And then the director, Lauren Montgomery, responded explaining a specific scene that isn't just about Suki, but about a bunch of characters. It's actually more about Aang, and it would have made the movie a lot better. In my opinion, this scene wasn't the only time we were going to see Suki. I'm going to go into that in just a minute, but let me read what she said. Quote, there was a scene that I really loved that didn't quite make it into the final film, and it was this parade that was the celebration of Republic City. It was so beautiful, and you saw a lot of fun Easter eggs of people. I think King Kwei was there, Suki was there with the Kyoshi Warriors, and it was this magnificent celebration of everyone celebrating their cultures. And then the final person in this parade is Aang on Appa, and it becomes a perspective shift where you realize what is so joyous for everyone is very isolating for Aang, and he never feels more alone than in this moment where everyone else can celebrate with their culture and his is absent. You kind of got that vibe at the end of the original series, Aang and Zuko looking out to the 3 nations there. His is missing. Everybody's happy and proud that the war is over. When you watch that scene, you're thinking it would be interesting to see what Aang's thinking a little bit more, and honestly, it would have propped up Aang's desperation to bring airbending back to the world. And that's why the signs of Taga not being on their side, it just went right over his head because he was so focused on bringing his people back. And as great as this movie is, I really wish that this happened. Suki dancing not with Sokka. According to that image at the very end, it seems that they are no longer together, and there was hints about it where Sokka is with Toph when he writes his letter to Tenzin, and then later when it talks about Suki, it says Sokka and Suki were an amazing team. So that plus this image in the movie, we should have seen that more developed a little bit. And another extra deleted scene came out unfortunately in the script when everything leaked back in April, but this was a better version of the movie in my opinion. It was how the gang came back together. Of course, Aang leaves Katara a note, sends a bunch of messenger hawks to Toph, Sokka, and Zuko, and of course later on they come on Appa to save Aang and Taga. Now in this version of the movie, Aang going into the Avatar state to get information, and the messenger hawks, it happens opposite. Toph, Sokka, and Zuko come to Aang and Katara. They sit down at a table, they talk, they eat, they're caught up to speed, they catch up, they're talking about what they've been doing, Sokka specifically. After that they head out, and then shortly after they obviously meet Taga. Now this is a much better version of it. I don't want to read the scripts line for line. I don't even have them. They were on Twitter at the time, but this was how it was set up. There's a few different tweaks in the script earlier on, as this was a good few years ago when this version of the movie was being made. But either way, I'm still quite content with what we got, even with the flaws of this film. But that's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next Avatar video.